Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nights on the Sofa. We are going to be concentrating on the World Cup as it's about to start. I think the first match is on Thursday. So we will be concentrating on that. We've got two of our friends from America, so we can see what the impact over there is having on hosting over there. So um, just one thing from me, Historic Swindon, which is headquarters are based at Steam Museum. They are doing a photographic history of football grounds. And I'm just going to read what they've said. And so I've got the dates on here. So, Football Grounds of England exhibition, it's called. And it's going to be in the Swindon Library, Central Library, from the 29th of June to the 24th of July. It's selected by football fans. So, Gary Winter has been going around asking different groups what kind of what football pictures they would want in this exhibition. The photographs connect the terraces, stands, floodlights and turnstiles with the emotional highs and lows of supporting a team, as well as enjoying vibrant images of football grounds past and present. This exhibition will stimulate fans to ponder what their own football ground story would be. Okay, so we've been asked to promote this. So it's in the Swindon Library, and from the 29th of June to the 24th of July. I'll stick a banner up there on it. If anybody's got any questions about it, they can contact Historic England, or they can send us a message and we'll pass them on to Gary. I will put the address and everything up there as well. Okay, so let's bring Vic on. Good evening, Mr. Morgan.
Hello, Chris. How are you this evening?
I'm very well. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. And we've got news of another friendly, of course, has been announced today. The return of Richie Wellens to the county ground. Leyton Orient will be joining us on the 28th of July with a 7 o'clock kickoff. That's a Tuesday night, so that makes 4 friendlies so far for Swindon. Shall I go to the list that we got so far?
Yeah.
14th of July, Chippenham against Swindon Town. That's a 7:30 kickoff on a Tuesday. 25th of July, Swindon Town against Bristol City. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. The aforementioned Orient game on the 28th of July at 7 o'clock. And then Forest Green on the 1st of August, away at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, August the 1st. So those are the 4 friendlies that Swindon have got arranged so far. I would imagine there might be others to come.
I imagine there'll be a Supermarine one. I think Melksham have already issued all their fixtures, haven't they? And it doesn't look like there's any dates available, sort of missing from that, but there could be one there. But I'm sure the Supermarine will be usually the first one we have, isn't it? Which is usually the first weekend in July. So wait for confirmation of that. And we also want to say good luck to one of our ex-players, Matt Ritchie, who's retired from football, and he's gone for a new job at Bournemouth. So we wish Matt every success in that. And yes, I will try and get hold of him to see if he, now he's not playing, he may well be able to come on and talk to us. So
what a terrific player he was, and of course went on to have an international career with Scotland as well, didn't he? So we remember Matt Ritchie fondly from the Paolo Di Canio days. Oh, let's have a look. Scotland versus hang on, Haiti, isn't it? At 2 o'clock in the morning on the 14th or something like that. This coming Sunday.
I will catch up the next day.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you've got any other news, Vic, or anything?
No, we should just say a happy birthday to Mark, who helped us out with the questions on a Monday evening. Happy birthday for yesterday, Mark. And yes, indeed. 21 again, I believe he is. So,
so we're going to talk to Gus and Dave when he gets here. He may well be a bit late and about the World Cup. But if you've got any questions about Swindon, just pop them in the comments. And if we've got time at the end, we'll get through them. If not, we'll take them away and contact people and get some answers if there is anything that you need to know. Hopefully tonight we won't get switched off by Facebook.
Yeah.
What happened last week was they just took down our video. That was it. So I had to wait until we'd finished, then appeal it, and they said, "Oh, right, we've reviewed it, and there's
You
nothing
didn't do
wrong."
nothing wrong, Gov. No.
Yeah. And
Most
so I've been
annoying.
going back saying, well, there must be some reason. Please tell me what the reason was, because we don't want to happen again. But as with anything, we haven't been, nothing's come through. So
No. Any rumours on signings, says Dave?
no.
No. It's a short answer.
I think, doesn't the window open on the 15th?
Yeah.
We can sign
Yeah.
pre-contract.
Pre-sign, yeah, but you can't actually sign anybody.
Anybody who's been released.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware,
So,
yes.
Yeah. So it's very early days. I think people have been on holiday and everything like that. So I think it should be soonish. We may well hear some things, but
hopefully get it early.
So
hopefully they can get it done early so that they know what the squad is before the start of the season. That's always a useful thing to do.
Good, wouldn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Be good. Okay, let's bring Gus on. Hi, Gus.
Hello.
Hello. Hiya.
Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. We should explain. We got Gus on because, of course, he lives in the United States of America, which is where part of the World Cup is. It's the USA, Canada, and Mexico. It's split between 3 countries. So we're going to talk about the impact of the World Cup over there. And also, Dave Saunders will be joining us. He is an English expat. He lives in the States, and he commentates on matches for Tulsa.
24 hours from Tulsa.
Now that's twice you've ruined that joke now.
Sorry, Vic. I didn't mean to spoil your joke.
Not good enough, honestly. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the groups throughout the hour so that you know what the groups are. Starting off with Group A, which is Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, the Czech Republic. The opening game is this coming Thursday, the 11th of June, Mexico against South Africa. That is the opening game of the 2026 World Cup. Gus, first question, of course, what impact is it having in the US?
Well, first of all, let me say, good luck to everybody who's watching or who might be coming to the U.S. or to Mexico or Canada for the games. I know I have not followed the World Cup in the past because I only became a football fan when I started following Swindon 2 years ago at Christmas time. But I know it's a big deal, and I'm excited to watch and kind of learn a lot as well. I have to confess, you asked me to be on the show on Friday, so 3 days ago, or maybe it was Saturday, and I had not spent 30 seconds thinking about the World Cup. There had been a few things in the news, mostly not good things about ticket prices or visas and that kind of thing. I'm sure that there's media coverage here in the U.S. of the games and the groups and the U.S. team and all that, actual football news, but nothing that had come across my plate up until now. But it's still a couple days away. I'm sure all the media on Thursday is going to be full of it, and there'll be a lot to talk about. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of really great football to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some fantastic stadiums, haven't they? I mean, Dallas Stadium is where England's going to play their opening game. 94,000 capacity to that. The Atlanta Stadium, 75,000. LA, the Los Angeles Stadium, 70,000. New York, New Jersey, 82,500 you can get in there. But one of the big bugbears, of course, has been the train fare from New York to New Jersey. And it's I've done that journey. It's not very long, is it?
No.
So
Nope.
The prices for train fares have gone up as well.
Yeah, I don't know whether to blame FIFA, and I don't know a lot about FIFA, but I know there are a lot of complaints, and I don't know the local authorities. I don't understand why we should be, as a host, we have responsibilities to make people feel welcome and make sure they have a good time, and not steal their money from them. So hopefully everybody will get where they need to go, and it's not going to be too crazy expensive for them. Like I said at the beginning, I want people to I think people should have a good time. There should be a party. It should be really enjoyable.
Yeah, we're talking about how far away you are from one of the venues in a moment. But Group B is Canada, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Qatar, Switzerland. The opening game is the 12th of June, Canada against Bosnia-Herzegovina. We should say it's the first time that 48 teams are appearing in the World Cup. So this could go on for months. So it's going to be a long one. How far away are you from any venues?
I think the closest venue to us would be the New Jersey. Is it in Rutherford, East Rutherford, New Jersey, which is probably a 5-hour drive, maybe, from us. It's directly to the north from where we are. But I don't. You all know how big the U.S. is,
Yeah.
So between New York and Los Angeles is much, much, much farther than from London to Moscow. It's another 2,000 kilometers or something. It's a really, really big country. So, for example, you mentioned train. Definitely New York, New Jersey, but you would never take a train to LA from New York. It'd take 3 solid days of train travel to get there.
There are a few Swindon questions, Chris. Maybe you can help us with this.
Yeah,
you are writing that. But this is from Mark. Hi, Mark. Evening all. With the results of the fan survey been mentioned, should make for worrying reading for the owner. Many supporters don't seem to have much confidence in the ownership. What can you tell us about that?
Not a lot, really. I know about the survey, and I will say that myself and Neil from the Trust are meeting with Anthony and Clem via online, not in person, on Wednesday morning. So yeah, that's all I can say at the moment. So I've read through them. Yes, there is a lot of the same points about confidence in the ownership and things, but there's also a lot of other things that we need to pick up on and work on, things that we can actually help with. So we'll be looking at that side of it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because obviously the season is unbelievably enough going to be fast approaching, isn't it? So things that need doing pretty fast. So I hope that answers your question, Mark. At the moment, things are ongoing with that survey. Need assistant manager first, says Kevin. No news of an assistant manager. And are we going to get a new physio full-time for next season? As far as I know, Chris, there is one going to be appointed.
Yeah, they were starting at the beginning of June, but I've wrote a note to confirm that.
Okay. World Cup Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. The opening game of that one is Brazil against Morocco. And the thing is, Gus, that people often say the World Cup doesn't really get going until Brazil start to play, because they've won it 5 flaming times. They're a bit greedy when it comes to this. I mean, does that excite people in the States, the fact that Brazil will be playing?
Well, so I think the important thing to remember, and every country has this, I know the UK has lots and lots of immigrant communities. Every team that's going to be playing is going to have American citizens rooting for them, because they're their national team, or their parents' team, or their grandparents' team. So I actually, all other things being equal, I'd support Sweden, because my family came over from Sweden 140 years ago, but we still have a few traditions. My wife tends to lean toward England because that's where her family's from. So, for example, there are a lot of Brazilians here, but Haitian, a lot of Haitians in the United States. And I'm imagining, while they're Americans, they're going to be supporting Haiti in a lot of cases. I think the average American, if they were going to watch a game like Haiti, Brazil, they probably would just support the underdog if they didn't have any other dog in the fight generally, or just want to see a good game,
Yeah. Scotland then, Chris.
Yeah.
That's going to get really annoying, isn't it? By 8 o'clock.
I will stop. Now I know that it's annoying you. That's fine.
What chances?
Not a lot, but I'm sure they're enjoying themselves while they're over there.
Yeah,
that's the thing with Scotland. It's no Scotland, no party. So
well, fair enough. Yeah. Let's have a look.
You never know.
Haiti on June the 14th at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's on BBC Scotland. Then Morocco on June the 19th at 11 o'clock in the evening, our time that is. That's on ITV. And then they play their final group game against Brazil on the 24th of June. That's at 11 p.m. That will be on the BBC. So I remember they played Brazil in the opening game of the 1998 World Cup in France. And if I remember rightly, Colin Calderwood was playing for Scotland that day. I can't remember. Did they score first? I think they might have done. Anyway.
They did, didn't they? But
yes.
lost.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it would take for Haiti to beat Brazil in the game. But if that game happened to be played at, I think aren't they playing some of the games in Miami, Florida?
Yes.
If it happened to be being played there would be a lot of fans from both sides, or people from both sides, even if they're, American citizens. But I think Haiti would probably have a big numerical advantage in that game.
Well, give me a chance, and I'll. That's at Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah.
According to my World Cup wall chart, which I have here. Kevin says, what outsider do you three think have a chance? Japan for me. Ooh, let's have a look. What group are they? Japan. They're in Group F. Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. The opening game of that match is the Netherlands against Japan. So there'll be quite an indication of what they're going to do when they play the Netherlands. So there you go. So you've got Japan. Let me have a look. This is great. I love doing this because it's there's so many games in this thing. It's going to go on forever. Japan play Sweden on June the 26th at 12 midnight our time. That's on the BBC. So who fancies Japan? Anybody?
I just looked at a few little things about games, and I have a predilection toward the Netherlands, but I have no good reason to say that, thinking that they may go far.
Well, they've got two World Cup finals in succession, 74 and 78. Both brilliant teams, but they failed to win on both occasions. They're beaten by West Germany, I think, in 74, and then Argentina in 78. One of the Argentinian players, of course, Jose Ardiles, became our manager, did he not?
He did.
To great success. Yeah. So go on.
I've got Morocco in my sweepstake.
Ooh, Morocco. Let's have a look at them, shall we? Well, they're in your group, aren't they? They're in Scotland's group. Yes.
No, yes, they are. Yeah, so they've got a chance.
Oh dear. Well, we'll see. Yeah. Any World Cup memories, of course, we're delighted to have them. I'm probably the only person old enough to remember 1966, which remains the memory for many England fans, and there's only one star on those badges, and that's from 1966. So a long old time ago, in the days of black and white TV. I sat in the kitchen with my dad and watched it on our sort of little telly like that.
Was it at Wembley Stadium?
It was at Wembley Stadium, yes, indeed.
Quite the environment in that stadium that day.
Apparently, you could walk up and buy tickets on the day, which seems ridiculous now.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
They never worried about safety of fans in those days, isn't it? Just pile them all in.
Yeah, get them in. Group D is the United States, Paraguay. Hang on, have I written this down wrong? Which I probably have. What am I talking about here? Group D. Brazil. No, that's United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. And the opening game is on the 13th of June. That's the USA against Paraguay. What can you tell us about the US team, Gus?
Nothing. I mean, I actually, when I knew I was going to be on, I looked up some things and watched a couple of podcasts, and I did not recognize a single name. I'm embarrassed. There's the guy, Pusilic, something, our best player, plays in Europe. I don't know. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say, as I've mentioned many times, I was never a soccer football fan until I started watching Swindon, so I really don't know. I'm going to be supporting them. I'm an American, of course. I'm going to be supporting them, and we'll hope for the best. It looks to me like they got a pretty easy draw. I mean, not to say that they're going to beat Paraguay or Turkey or Australia, but I don't see any of the really big names in our group. I guess maybe that's what they do when you're a host. They try to make it a little easier for. I'm just guessing. They make it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, a couple more people remember 1966. Gordon and Tony do. That's very good. That's worth knowing. In 66, we opened up with Uruguay at home at Wembley, and it was a desperately dull 0-0 draw, if I remember rightly. Then beat France and Mexico, both by 2-0 scorelines, if I remember, to go through to the quarterfinals. Famous Antonio Ratan sent them off by, he played for Argentina that day. Got through that 1-0, then beat Portugal in the semi-finals, then on to the final. So in those days, there were only 16 teams in the World Cup finals. So it's expanded just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. We're still waiting for Dave, which hopefully he'll be joining us very shortly. How far is Oklahoma from you? Quite a way, isn't it?
It's about 2/3 of the way across the country, so it's pretty far. Yeah.
You can't go to the store then.
But I mean, it's a great place. I've heard good things about Oklahoma, and Tulsa, I'm sure, is a really nice place. There's a good university there, and yep.
Sure, there's a story about Oklahoma, isn't there?
There is.
Whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. And just as you say that,
Oh, here he is. Is he
Yeah.
coming?
Maybe
Yes.
he'll sing the song for us.
there
Yeah.
we go. I
Hey,
will put you through it. Hello.
I am so sorry, guys. Vic knows I'm always late. For
Well, there you go. Well, it's delightful to see you, Dave. It's been a long time since I've seen you. So, we got one Swindon story that you want to relate to us, haven't you? Our mate Tommy Brewitt.
yeah, what a fantastic guy. So I don't know if you told everybody, but I'm currently in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I've just retired actually after 10 years of doing FC Tulsa, who play in the USL Championship, doing their commentary, and Tom plays for
Orange County.
County. And so I got in contact with my wonderful friend Vic, and I said, I met this wonderful guy, and we had a really good chat. And I'm telling you, he is a great, great player. I mean, he's very solid central defender, as I'm sure you remember. And he had everything nice to say about Swindon Town Football Club, and obviously particularly my friend Vic. So well done to you all. And he's a top guy, and he's doing very, very well out here, I can tell you.
Well, we're going to try and get him on our Monday night thing, aren't we, Chris? Because it'd be lovely
We
to
are.
talk to him. Yeah.
We are.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he would. Sure he
Yeah.
would.
So apart from the extraordinary grand piano in the background, Dave, which I'm sure you're going to give us a little rendition of Oklahoma in a minute on it. We've just been discussing the groups. We've got through Great D at the moment with the United States, Paraguay, Australia, Turkey, with the opening game USA Paraguay. What are your thoughts on it? As somebody who's a Brit now living in America, what are your thoughts on the World Cup?
On the whole World Cup as general?
Being in the States, Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah, I mean, normally I'm one of these guys that will write down every fixture in my calendar. I would be making sure I knew which TV channel I was watching. With days to go, if I'm honest, I'm struggling a little bit with all of the non-football stuff going on behind the scenes. And I've got, there are Englishmen friends here who are trying to get tickets for the Croatia game, which is just a mere 4-hour drive from Tulsa, but that's nothing, and the tickets still are very, very expensive, and people are complaining that they're way up in the nosebleeds, looking down. And I personally, Vic knows I love the game. I've refereed it, played it, managed it, commentated on it. But I just find, I'm not prepared to spend several $100 on one game tickets. Other people are sort of complaining that they've bought blind. So they bought a ticket and they didn't even know which game they were going to. And a friend of mine, he said, I'm going to Kansas City, which is a mere 4 hours north of Tulsa. And I'm going to watch Ecuador versus, and I couldn't even tell you the other team. So I think overall, I hope the stadiums are full in the end, and I hope the prices are coming down daily, it would seem. But I think we've got a long way to go before we can start talking about the football, to be honest.
Right, so that's very disappointing in a way. But Chris has been using the 24-hour from Tulsa joke all the way through this, so
Right.
I'm surprised he hasn't used it yet, to be honest.
I told you I would annoyed you. It's not funny anymore.
What about this then? Because Gus has been talking about this, and I'm sort of talking about the rail fare prices, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Why haven't they sold this as football, as you know, is a game of the people, but it doesn't appear though it is at the minute.
No, and I think perhaps they saw, okay, we can charge what we want and people are going to go anyway. But, they had a piece here about an average England fan traveling from England watching all three games. And that's, if they get through the group stage, and it was thousands. And, if you're trying to bring your family and everything as well, people are charging astronomical fees for hotels and Airbnbs and bed and breakfast. So yeah, I think they overdid it really with the ticket prices. And I think now what they're trying to do is to struggle to say, right, how can we do this? And then, of course, you feel sorry for the people who did pay out the money in the first place, because someone's going to be sat next to them, with a cut price ticket. So, yeah, it's just disappointing, isn't it? Like you say, because we want genuine football fans. And you take something like the German Bundesliga, and they've got it right. They don't charge great prices for my beloved Werder Bremen, who just about survived relegation this season. Because you can go and see the German Bundesliga for a reasonable price because it's all about the fans. This doesn't seem like they've got that quite right.
Yeah. Well, the mention of the Germans is Group E: Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. The opening game is the 14th of June. That's Germany against Curacao. I don't know which game your friend's going to go to, but Ecuador's opening game is against the Ivory Coast. That's on the 15th of June. Then they play Curacao on the 21st, and then they play Germany on the 25th. Go on.
Curacao.
Yeah.
I think it's the Curacao game. So he bought that blind, and on the face of it, with respect to both of those countries, not the most glamorous, but he said, "Hey, I'm going to the World Cup. I'm going to be sat there watching a World Cup game." So,
yeah,
chance to take, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gus, we've got a question here from Nick. He says, "How are the US press covering the exploitation of supporters? I mean, is that on the media?"
It is. I think Dave alluded to this. The only media that I have seen so far, I mentioned this before, has been ticket prices. Hotels are not filling up because they're ridiculously expensive. It's if the World Cup has failed to attract people from overseas, and I know many will come, but it's going to be so expensive. Even at the last minute, if they're trying to sell tickets, there are people who are rabid soccer, football fans here in the U.S., but I think a lot of people would just soon watch it on television. I'm not sure that people are going to line up. What if they drop the ticket prices to, only $400, which to me sounds like a ridiculous amount of money to pay. I don't know how they're going to, no one's going to fly from Scotland now, who wasn't thinking about coming if they could get their visa. So it's been all, but to answer your question, I have not heard any positive news about the World Cup, and it's only been negative. And I haven't heard a single thing about the actual teams, about the football, about, it's just all been bad stories about things the U.S. government is doing and things that FIFA's done.
Well, there was a piece on the news tonight about the Scotland team. I think they're based in Dallas at the minute for their training camp, and they were asking people in the locality whether they knew Scotland were there, and they said no, don't know anything about it. It's that simple. There was a lovely piece on the television last night with Kevin Bridges, actually, who's a comedian over here. He's a Scottish comedian. He went looking for the soul of football, so he went to Brazil, obviously, and it was a really nice piece on the BBC if you get a chance to watch it. Group F: Netherlands, Japan, the aforementioned Sweden, and Tunisia, with the opening game the 14th of June. Netherlands versus Japan. Dave, obviously you do the commentaries on the Tulsa games. What about the regular fans there? Would they be interested in the World Cup?
Interested, yeah. Like we just heard, on the TV. I haven't heard anybody saying, "Oh yeah, I'm off to Kansas City," apart from my English friend who I mentioned. So no, it's going to be. I think watch parties will be big. For example, FC Tulsa, no, I don't know if they're doing it this time, but last time they opened up their stadium, which is a baseball stadium, and they had a big screen, and a lot of people came and put their chairs down on the outfield and watched. So they're pretty big on the watch parties. But to answer your question, no, I haven't felt, swarming around the ticket booths or anything. No.
World Cup fever's not quite gripped then.
No.
Adrian says the final's so expensive because the fans can see Salt Bay lift the World Cup. Don't quite understand what that means, but yeah, I didn't quite read that properly. Kevin says, "What?"
Explain.
Yes, can you explain, Adrian, a little bit? Hi, Kevin. Beer prices £10 plus. You were saying about that, Gus, weren't you? About the cost of a pint of beer. I noticed that on England's Friendly on Saturday, they were charging $18, and I can only expect that in the games proper, that'll go up even further.
Yeah, at a kind of mid-level college football team that I follow, the Arizona Wildcats, because my son goes to school there. I go to a couple of games a year, and beers are $18 for a can of beer. I would recommend for fans to take a little bit on board before they go, and so they don't have to spend all their money on alcohol or don't drink. I mean, there's an option as well. But I can imagine, in the stadium by New York or Foxborough, Massachusetts, it's going to be, maybe they're the same everywhere, but those are expensive places anyway compared to Tulsa or Norfolk, Virginia, where I live. They're going to be charging $40 for a beer. I predict it's just
$40.
We'll see. I believe it.
Wow.
I know. It's just, it makes no sense. It's not tethered to any actual reality, but they think they can get it, so they'll do it.
I think the other thing to throw in, pardon the pun, is the water situation. I understand that, these refillable things that I have and you need in this country, as you know, they're banning those. Now, I kind of get that, having been in a hostile crowd or two when Swindon played Exeter. No, I'm joking. But, I can understand that, because if someone gets angry, they throw something on the field. I get that. But, people are saying they should be making these water bottles free for people to have. And I think, I can't remember, Vic, it was about $6, I think, for the game in Florida for England against New Zealand, for just an ordinary sort of water bottle that you can get for less than $1 in the store here. So I think that is a really big issue, because fans are going to be 100-degree heat. It's going to be no fun.
By the way, we will be playing Exeter twice this season.
I know. I'm looking forward to both.
Yes, they went down, obviously.
Never mind the World Cup. Let's have the fixtures for League Two out.
Oh, not yet. We've got 2 weeks to wait yet. It's a long way. Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Iran, that's an interesting fixture, isn't it? New Zealand. The opening game is on the 15th of June. That's Belgium against Egypt, and Iran will play New Zealand. I see that some of the Iran officials, Gus, have sort of struggled to get visas, haven't they? The players are okay, but not the officials.
I think they were simply denied either when they got here or when they were still in Tehran. And, it's the Greeks managed to end wars, or, during the ancient Olympics. We could have let a couple of coaches and a couple of scorekeepers in. I don't think it would be any problem. You probably know that they're also now requiring the Iranians to stay. Well, they can stay wherever they want, but they can only come in to the U.S. the day of their game, and they have to leave that same day.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not permitted to stay here overnight, which of course gives them, without their coaches, without their support staff, and traveling twice every single day. It's just not fair. It will be interesting, though. The first game that Iran plays is in Los Angeles, and the largest Iranian American community in the U.S. is in Los Angeles, in Southern California. There are about 500,000 Iranian Americans there. And I'm assuming there'll be great interest. I assume they have an affinity for their country. Maybe they don't support the politics, but they're going to be supportive. So it'll be a very interesting environment in that stadium. I don't want to get too political here, but when they introduced the Iranians, I would assume that they would be greeted enthusiastically and be welcomed.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
I don't think the American people have any problem with the Iranian people.
Well, one does.
Well, yeah. I don't want to get into politics, but I think there'll be a loud, long applause for the Iranian team when they come into that stadium.
That'll be interesting. Nick says Wembley also stops you taking in refillable bottles, which is crazy. Yeah, absolutely. Adrian's explanation, by the way, Chris. Sorry, he invaded the pitch and sprinkled salt on the World Cup in 2022.
Oh.
Interesting.
Odd thing to do.
Yeah, there you go. Tony says, I think I'll watch it in our local. And Port Vale comes to mind when water bottles were thrown. Anybody who was at Vale Park that playoff night will know exactly what Tony is talking about. A horrendous evening at the conclusion of it. By the way, if you're in Devon, Ottery St Mary Football Club are showing all of England's games. A shameless plug for Ottery St Mary Football Club, who I do a bit of work with. And you can watch all of England's games live there on the days that they play. We'll get to those in a minute. Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. The opening games on the 15th of June. Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Cape Verde, interesting one. Gus, tell us about Cape Verde.
Well, I don't know a lot about Cape Verde, but there are 110,000 people of Cape Verdean descent, American citizens or Americans, who live in southern Massachusetts and Rhode Island. It was since the days of whaling, from the 1850s they started coming, and then there was another big group that came in the 1970s. It's too bad that none of the Cape Verde games are in Boston, because that would be an easy traveling distance for them. I mean, it's also ridiculously expensive, but people may have gone. Classic underdog story. We'll see about Cape Verde, but we have a really good and vibrant Cape Verdean community in the United States.
Yeah, that's interesting. What have you got in Oklahoma, Dave? Have you got any populations of various ethnic minorities?
Yes.
Apart from Devonians, obviously, which are pretty...
Of course, of which there is one, I think. My friend, he's a realtor here, state agent. He's actually from Portsmouth. So he goes around Tulsa saying, play up Pompey, and all that kind of stuff. And was very kind, by the way, about his big rival Southampton with all those shenanigans. I'll just leave it there. I think obviously Mexico is very well supported. I mean, you go into various stores here, and you can. There's always a TV on with football in the background. So I think there'll be a huge Mexican following here. Just coming back to Cape Verde and the like, with FC Tulsa, one of the great things about it is, as well as the USA players, there are lots of players. We've talked about Tom coming over to play for Orange County, but there are lots of players and teams that get depleted because they're going off to play for their countries. And I don't know the name off the top of my head, but I believe there's a couple who play in FC Tulsa's league who will be representing Cape Verde and the like in the World Cup. So they've been boasting that, even at FC Tulsa's level, that there are players who are going to be in the World Cup.
No, that's well, don't blame them. You got anything, Chris?
In what way? Sorry, Vic.
You got any questions you want to put?
There's no questions come through. I'm just sat here talking while you're talking. I think it all seems to be about money, doesn't it? And it's got, with 48 teams now, is it just getting out of hand? Is it too big now? We were talking before you come on, Dave, when England won the World Cup, there were 16 teams. Now there's so many teams now, it's a little diluted. Yeah. And I've certainly not, but going around here, not necessarily in Swindon, but other places, it doesn't seem to have the World Cup fever. And I don't know if that's because the timings of the games are not good for us, or if it's just too much. It's too diluted, and I don't know. That's just a question. What do people think?
I totally agree with you about the 48 teams. I think I don't like it. I think stick to what 32. I think it's going to go on too long. People do get a little bit bored. I mean, we're all football fans here, but it's going to go on and on and on with these group games, and you want to get to those what used to be the last 16. I'm guessing it's the last 32 now, isn't it? Yeah. It's a long way to go to get there. So I agree. I think they should have left it alone at 32. And as we said, once they kick off on the 11th, I'm sure we'll all get behind it. But there's a long way to go before we all get that fever. That's what I said. I would normally have my wall chart up on my wall. Don't tell the wife, when I stick it up on the wall. But I'm really not there yet. And come the 17th, I'll be in the pub, the Empire Bar, the end of 15th Street in Tulsa, quick, unashamable plug like Ottery St Mary. I'll be in there with the other Englishmen and others. And by the way, a lot of people here, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but a lot of people here whisper it quietly, they want to come and see the England games because of the Premiership, and then they'll watch the USA games as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of following for England as well.
Yeah, there was a great piece in that thing with Kevin Bridges last night, where in Brooklyn, loads of Arsenal fans all went and sat in a pub and watched the Arsenal game. Sorry, Gus, you were going to say something.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I saw a really interesting statistic. There was polling. 14% of Americans say they are very likely or extremely likely to follow the World Cup. So 14%, 1-4. But of those, 55% of them support the U.S. team. And what that means is that 45% of Americans who are really interested are following another team. And I think what that means is, Dave, you mentioned Mexicans, Americans, or maybe immigrants, or people who are living here who are Mexican and Haitian and every English and every other, group. So what this kind of tells me is that a lot of the people who are really supportive are more recent immigrants or people who have very strong national affiliations outside of the U.S. Ghana and Senegal and all that. Obviously, we have people from everywhere, and the one of the big cores of support for the World Cup in the U.S. are actually people who are maybe first or second generation immigrants and have a really strong affiliation to where their family came from.
Yeah, I'm going to get to this in a minute. This is from Nick. He says, what sort of TV viewing figures will the World Cup get in the US? Is it pay-per-view? So we'll just leave that one there for a minute because it's a very interesting question. But Martin says, hi, Martin. Good to hear from you. This is just the start. It'll be 64 before you know it. Although, in fairness, that number works better from a format point of view rather than this third place goes through nonsense, which is another thing, isn't it, Dave? You can finish third in your group and still go through to the next round.
Yeah, and England might need that, mightn't they? No, I hope not. But yeah, I know, and that's what I can't remember the format with the 32. Someone out there will tell us, but it was harder to get in through third place. Now it seems it's a little bit easier because they're only whittling out from 48 to 32, aren't they? So yeah, coming third isn't the best. Keeps you in the competition, I guess. But then you could argue it's like our wonderful leagues, isn't it? That you finish seventh and you can still get promotion. So yeah, again, I think it's back to our other point, Chris, isn't it? That 48 is just too many for me. But
yeah.
The first thing that I thought when I heard 48, and I heard that it was more than last, which I didn't know right off the bat, is there can't be more than 200 total national teams, right? I mean, about that, something like that. So 1 in 4 make it. Which seems like, it's not highly exclusive. I remember in the old, like you were saying, when there was 16 or 32, it's just, anyway, we see this in the United States, the college basketball and college football, same thing. Partly they're trying to be fair because they're like, well, if you won this conference, you should probably be allowed to be in the playoffs kind of thing. But it's obviously about money as well.
Yeah, and Martin says 32, 8 groups of 4, top 2 went through from each group.
Yeah.
Simple, really. What about that pay-per-view, Gus? I mean, it'll be on Fox Sports and things like that, won't it?
I think it's on Fox, Dave. Is that right? And I don't think you have to pay to watch Fox.
So I think the catch is if you want to see all the games, you need Fox One, I believe. And so I've been looking into this. Some of them you can get on a local antenna that you can buy for $10 in the local store for free. But then some of the games, and of course you don't know yet. I think I want to say the cheapest I've seen is like $19.99 maybe for the whole World Cup, the 103 matches or whatever. So it's kind of a yes and no. Some of it is on local TV for free. Some of it you have to buy if you want to see all the games.
Yeah. Okay. Group I, France, Senegal, Iraq, Norway. The opening game's on the 16th of June. France, Senegal, Iraq, Norway. Group J, the reigning world champions are Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. The opening games on the 17th of June, Argentina, Algeria, and Austria and Jordan. And Group K, Portugal, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. The opening game of that is the 17th of June. And then Group L. Well, I don't need many people to tell you what is in Group L. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. The opening game on the 17th of June, England, Croatia, which is a 9 p.m. kickoff in Dallas. England's next game is on the 23rd of June against Ghana, 9 p.m. in Boston. And then the 27th of June, they play Panama in New Jersey at 10 o'clock. I'm guessing all games at the end of the groups will kick off at the same time. So that's where England are. The round of 32 kicks off on the 28th of June. The round of 16 starts, interesting enough, on the 4th of July. Quarterfinals on the 9th, semi-finals on the 14th, the bronze match on the 18th, who cares? And then the final itself is on the 19th of July at 8 o'clock. Now, here's the thing. If England win the group, they'll go through to play on the 1st of July at 5 p.m. If they come second, they'll play on the 3rd of July at 12 a.m., which is midnight our time. These are all our times, by the way. And then if they come third, they'll play on the 4th of July at 2:30 a.m. I hope you followed that.
So my question is, are you all going to be watching all of those games? Because for us, it's okay. 9 o'clock at night's okay, right, Gus? But I guess were those Eastern times, Vic?
Well, yes, they would be based on Eastern time.
So even earlier for you, Dave. Yeah.
That's right. So we're 8 o'clock for the England game in Dallas. Yeah, but for you, that's 2 a.m., isn't it, Vic?
2:30 is if they come third. Yes. So yeah, it's all over the shop basically, and you know, you got to be hardcore to stay up at 2:30 in the morning and watch England play football, especially the way they're playing at the minute. Quite frankly, but Chris, you've got to face this with Scotland, haven't you? I mean, you know, they kick off very early on Sunday morning, so I'm sure the pubs in Scotland will be packed, won't they?
Well, I was going to say that it's especially in Scotland. Yes, the pubs will be open at that time for them. But I don't know about England. What is the agreement down here? Will they be showing the late games or anything? I haven't heard anything. If they're open or not, somebody could say. But
they've got extended licensing hours, I think. But I wouldn't know off the top of my head. But 2:30 in the morning if they come third in their group. Oh, no thanks. Yeah.
We got a comment from Derek Alston. Hiya, Derek. I have to say that this is the first World Cup that I have had a lack of interest in. The competition has, in my opinion, been diluted with the extra 16 teams from a lower end of world football.
Yeah, it's a fair point, Gus, isn't it? I mean, if it's not attracting interest in the States where it's being held, I'm sure in Mexico it's a different thing altogether. I'm sure, you know, they're fanatical about their football, aren't they? Canada, not sure. I mean, what about those two nations?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I heard that all the Mexico games, or at least the initial games, are in Mexico, and they're gonna. I think one game's in Guadalajara and one's in Mexico City, at least. You know, will be insane. I'm sure. You know, they're rabid fans in Mexico, as they should be. Canada, I have no idea. The only thing I know about Canadian football is Junior Hoylett.
Yes,
who I guess didn't make the team. I believe.
No.
But I just want to mention Group L. I don't know anything or very, very little about international football, but that doesn't look like a bad draw for England.
Croatia have been a thorn in our side, I think it's fair to say. Luka Modric, Croatia have been a thorn in England's side.
Oh, okay.
Luka Modric is 45, I think, and he's still playing in this World Cup. A wonderful, wonderful footballer, but 45, I mean, that's cracking on a little bit, isn't it? Well, it is for some. Obviously, for some of us, it's quite young, isn't it? Yeah. So it's an interesting one, that, Dave, isn't it? Ghana, we've had problems with African countries in the past, haven't we? And you know, looking at these teams' records, Ghana, they got to the group stage in 2022. Their best finish, the quarterfinals in 2010. Their coach is Carlos Queiroz, of course, who used to be assistant manager at Manchester United. Panama didn't qualify in 2022. They got to the group stages in 2018. And they got a Danish manager, Thomas Christensen. And obviously, we wish Christian Eriksen all the very best after his latest problems. Great footballer, so we wish him well. And then Croatia, they're 66-1, by the way, should you fancy a punt. They finished third in 2022, runners up to France in 2018. Luka Modric is the captain, and their manager is Latko Dalic. But we've had problems, haven't we, Dave, with African teams in the past?
Yeah, I think, in my humble opinion, I think England will draw against Croatia. I can see that being like a 1-1 draw, an underwhelming performance. Everybody will say, oh, we're not going to win the World Cup. If we go out and beat them 3 or 4-0, which I think is highly unlikely, everybody will say, oh, England are nailed on. We're going to win it. What was it, 66, now 26? Yeah, it's written in stars. Here we go. So I think what will happen, this is purely my own opinion, I think we'll draw the first game. I think we will scrape by Ghana, but I think they're better than, I mean, all of these teams are improving with their coaching and their players and the world game now. And then I think we might have another draw against Panama. I just think it might be a win and 2 draws that will get us through, not necessarily in first place. But it's just my opinion. I think we're notoriously slow starters in that first game, be it the Euros or the World Cup. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we go out and win all 3 games. I don't think we know our best team yet, but that's okay. I'm not reading anything into that New Zealand game or anything about the Costa Rica game we're playing this week. Don't worry about that. He's trying to see who's going to play. I do think that Marcus Rashford will play, and I think he's nailed on. Jude Bellingham, question mark.
Yeah, he changed the entire team, of course, second half, didn't he, on Saturday? Into that you've just said, I will throw in 1990, which is looked upon with great fondness by England fans. And they had a dog's breakfast of a group stage, if I remember rightly, just squeaked through and then reached the semi-finals. So I'll throw that one into the mix. So they are notoriously slow starters. There was something else I was going to say, but I've forgotten now. John says probably watch on catch-up on TV, which is probably a good idea.
A lot of people will, won't they?
Get up, have your breakfast, watch the football. Yeah. So, Gus, what are your thoughts then? Are you looking forward to it? Are you not looking forward to it? Would you go out and do the garden? What would you do? Take yourself off mute. That would help.
Thank you. I have a slightly demented dog who's barking in the background and will not stop barking no matter what I do. So I apologize for that. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to watch 108 games. Maybe catch the U.S. if I don't have to pay or pay too much for it. It's just a shame. I mean, I don't really want to pay to watch a bunch of games I don't care about. What was I thinking? I guess it just, the new format will be interesting, because if all the teams that are expected to win in the first round 6-0, and all the Cape Verdes and Curaçaos and Kazakhstans, get slaughtered, maybe this isn't the greatest format. If a few of them, if somebody can make a run, if Panama can do something good, I don't want to do that in Group L actually, but if, some teams can make runs, and that usually happens, right? Somebody's gonna get good. It can be fun. It can be a lot of fun. Hopefully, as soon as they start playing football, we can forget about all this other stuff. I don't mean to sweep any of it under the rug. I mean, it should all be addressed. But, hopefully the football will take care of itself, and it's really up to the players to make this a good World Cup.
There were loads of fans from England on Saturday, Dave. I don't know if you watched the game, but loads and loads of England flags. There was one from Swindon, I noticed. I mean, they do get fantastic away support, don't they?
They do, and I hope you saw the Exeter City flag as well, by the way, Vic. I did see.
Must have missed that one, Dave. Must have missed
no, it just, wherever they go, they seem to get the following. Now, people could have gone to Florida for a little holiday and done that, and then said, right, now I'm going home. Whether people have really sort of taken out a second mortgage and they're going to keep coming across America, I don't know. But this is going to be interesting for me to see. At that Croatia game in Dallas, will the England fans be there in force? I think they probably will. How many of them will travel from, because there are a lot of expats in America. It's going to be very, very interesting to see those crowds in those first few games. And like you say, wherever England play, they do seem to get the support. So we'll see.
What are your thoughts, Chris? I mean, how are you feeling about it?
I just think it's very difficult for the supporters. Again, they haven't thought about the supporters. It's all about money. I think the expats, there is a lot of England fans over that way, so they will be there. There are a lot of passionate England fans who travel everywhere, who I'm sure will be there on the day. But it's the travel, isn't it? It's okay for the first 3 games, but then what do you do then? It's, do you travel or what? And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of time. It's people have annual leave, I suppose, won't they? But it's 6 weeks, 5 weeks. So it's a lot. So there's a lot to take in there to have on your sort of think, right, do I do it? Do I don't do it? Or do they just go to watch parties and everything like that? So it'll be, as Steve said, it will be interesting how it pans out in the end.
And the thing is, Gus, as well as you've mentioned already, we're not talking about, I don't know, Swindon playing Bristol City, which is like 30 miles up the road. There's a lot of travelling here, isn't there? And you're still on mute, by the way. You're still on mute, by the way, Gus.
Sorry about that. I don't know. I haven't looked very carefully at the scheduling, but it would have been nice if they could figure out a way, if you're an England fan or a Paraguay fan, to only have to go to one city or to go to 2 of the closer cities, but you could be going all over the country, and it's as Dave knows, it's far and it's expensive, and it takes time, and flights aren't always on time, and it can be stressful to get from place to place in the U.S. And the trains are not
with the amount of teams now. That makes it a lot more difficult to look at the logistics, doesn't it? So
yeah. Well, and there's also the whole Canada-Mexico thing. I'm assuming if you're in Group K, all those games are in Mexico, Canada, or the U.S. They're not in some in each. I'm assuming. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that. I haven't really. You've caught me out there.
It just would make it much harder for the fans. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree. Yeah,
I think you're right. That they're all the Mexico games are in Mexico. All the Canada games are in Canada, and USA games are in USA. But England, England playing in Dallas, which is 4 hours, as I said, south of us here. And then where are they playing? Is it New Jersey? Is one of the games? Yeah. So. Yeah, and I think I'm right in saying the England team are based in Kansas City as well, which is the one 4 hours north of me at Swope Park. It's called Children's Mercy Park, and I think they're based there as well. A lot of colleges, by the way, here have got the training camps, and they've got fantastic facilities. You would not believe it when you see. Gus knows, some of these sporting facilities at these these colleges are just wonderful, and nobody can have any complaints about what they're going to have there with the fitness conditioning rooms, etc. So
I recently watched a series on Netflix about college football, and they get 100,000 people at these games, don't they? It's bonkers, isn't it? I mean, different level altogether. John says, I bet the burgers are cheaper than Swindon Town. I don't know how much they cost. Hang on. Hang on. This is from John, who's our regular contributor. Nothing about the background today, and somebody coming in and stealing your telly, if you remember, Gus. That happened to be your wife, but that's another matter altogether. Got to leave the forum a little early tonight because John Otway and Wild Willie Barrett are playing in Devizes tonight. In the unlikely event of Gus not knowing, they are one of England's leading bands. Remember Wild Willie Barrett and John Otway many years ago? Yes.
I remember John Otway, but I don't remember the band.
Did not know.
Really, really good, I think, because they're big hit. Really, I can't remember. Really something. Martin says, it looks like Woking have a game against Swindon on Tuesday, the 21st of July on their schedule.
I think that's away, isn't it?
Yeah, hasn't been mentioned before. So just
where
remind
am I
you.
going to spend my birthday then? I'm going to spend it in Woking, probably.
Woking, why not? Haven't they got a very nice Pizza Express there in Woking?
There you go then.
For those who watch the news, a good Pizza Express in Woking, as I understand it. Really Free, says John. That's the name of the song, absolutely. So that would be Woking on the 21st. Then 14th of July, they're at Chippenham on a Tuesday night, 7:30. Home to Bristol City on the 25th of July at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Tuesday night, 28th of July, against Leyton Orient at 7 o'clock at home. And then Forest Green Rovers away on the 1st of August, 3 p.m. Right. John says, anyone know what the pound is worth in America? Anybody know what that is?
I think it's about $1.2.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can tell you this, 20 years ago, I met my wife, who's from Tulsa, and it was £1 would get you, £1 would get you $2.
Yeah.
So in the last 20 years, we've gone down to 1.2. Yeah.
Wow. God. Yeah, I remember the days it was $2.50. I mean, crazy, isn't it?
I first traveled to the UK in 1987, and it was over two to one.
Bonkers.
Beer was expensive.
Yeah. John has just been trying to phone me, which it's not easy to do. Whilst I could have done that, could have been rude, and I'll phone it back. Right. Thank you all very much indeed. It's been really fascinating. It's going to be an interesting World Cup, I think it's fair to say. Gus, who's your winner?
England.
Very good.
Why not England?
Why not England? Why not indeed? Mind you, we've been saying that for 60 years, so it's been a long time.
Just keep throwing the mud at the wall. Eventually it'll stick. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We want another star on those shirts, please. Can we have another one? Dave?
I would love England to win it. I would really love that so much because I was very, very small when we last won the World Cup. I was alive, but I was very small. I think Brazil have got to have a good tournament at some stage. They normally mess it up, but I'm going to go for Brazil.
Chris?
Why not? The way they're playing against
Right? Just leave it there.
I think one of the best World Cup songs ever is Ali's Army, wasn't it? When Ali McLeod was manager and they were on the march with Ali's Army. Look it up on YouTube, Gus. It's an absolute belter.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, really good song. John says Spain to win. Well, they're in the shake-up most times, aren't they? I think we'd all, if it's not England, we'd all love Brazil to win it in the style of which Brazil play. And we all remember 1970, probably. Those are old enough to remember it. And Pelé and Jairzinho and all those people played. It was magnificent football, wasn't it? So something like that would be great to look forward to. The previous World Cup final in America, 1994, Brazil 0, Italy 0, went to penalties. And Baggio missed that penalty, didn't he? Stuck it over the bar. And I was saying to Gus a little earlier, we all remember Diana Ross missing the penalty in the pre-match warm-up.
But well done to the person who had the button to open the goal up anyway. Even though
one of the great penalty misses of all time, Diana Ross. Great. Thank you all very much indeed. It's been fabulous. And it all starts on Thursday.
And we may ask you to come on in a couple of weeks down the line and see how it's progressing. So.
And I'd just like to say again, for anyone who is coming to visit the U.S., I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope and believe that every single American you meet is going to be welcoming you, and just expect to have a good time.
Yeah,
that's great. Gordon says Argentina. He fancies the reigning world champions to win again. So there we go. Sorry, Dave, you're going to say?
No, I echo what Gus said. The other thing, Portugal better without Ronaldo, but we haven't got another hour, have we?
Well, let's put it like this. He doesn't think so. So does he? Right. No, Ronaldo doesn't think so. Lovely. We're back next week, Chris, with something else.
We are. We've got a few bits and pieces that we're working on. It's just trying to make people make a decision and confirm things. So, but we will be back next Monday. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Gus, as usual. And we will see you next Monday. And have a good week, everybody. Okay.
And stay right there, both of you. Don't go away, and we'll say goodbye.
We'll do.
Just Dave, don't go anywhere. All right. We'll see you soon.